VGC is supported by Patreon. Check out patreon.com/videogameschronicle for more podcasts, ad-free browsing, and extra content. Thank you for your support. Maybe I'm brainless, maybe I'm wise. It's VGC the Video Game Podcast, episode 149, with me, Jordan Midler, Chris Scullion, and Andy Robinson. This week, I have Whiplash, because people in Paisley are thick as mince. But first, how's it going, folks? Toronto's own Chris Scullion, how are you, son?
I'm okay. It's been a week. I'm just roll on the weekend, as they say. I'm struggling.
You're going to be on it every night.
Struggling to do my weekly Japanese lesson as well. So that's been kind of glimpsing that every now and then.
Give me a blast. How do I say? I would like to go to the supermarket in Japanese.
I believe it's Je voudrais aller au supermarché,
okay.
but with a Japanese accent. It's not going great. To be fair, I missed the last couple of meetings, last couple of appointments because I was in Paris last week and then ill the week before. But so it's been a slow start, but we'll get there. I'll be like properly having full conversations in Japanese by the middle of December, I think.
Good. Well, the people of Edinburgh will appreciate that. Speaking of full Japanese, Andy Robinson, how are you?
Departo wa doko desu ka?
That's what I was going to say, but
hi.
Yeah. I wasn't googling it. Yeah, I'm all right. Went to Golden Joysticks last week. That's why I wasn't on the pod, because I was very hungover.
Yes. Lads. Do you see any friends and family of the pod?
Ben Starr was there, the man who the director of Final Fantasy VII Remake says is everywhere, which is correct. He was there. I met the lady who plays Ciri in the new Witcher. She was very nice. I met the guy who directed Claire Obscure. I think he was all right. I said about 2 words to him. He probably is a nice man. And everyone else I met, I don't really remember. To be honest,
went up to him when it's not
Pete, big Pete.
Oh, big Pete,
big French Pete, who's been writing in the south of France with Newcastle.
Yeah, I could not believe that he first of all went to Marseille for that game, and then it seemed to be completely. You're on football Twitter, Andy. You've almost certainly seen the video that was going about from.
Oh yeah, no, but I warned him because I went with West Ham. I went to Lyon.
Oh yeah.
And I warned him that compared to the other kind of football destinations, the French police are less, shall we say, lenient towards football fans. Yeah. And I think they're quite close, right? Marseille, Lyon, south of France. Yeah. And he texted me the other day when you weren't joking about the French police, probably whilst he was getting battered by a man with a large cane.
I've just realised the potential issue for future podcasts, not just ours and others, but when you said that you met the lady who played Ciri in Witcher, I can imagine everyone's iPhones just going off when Ciri appears. She goes, So I can imagine that we can't talk about this game going forward without
As someone that's recently become an Apple Watch evangelist, I really do feel like I'm a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger when I hold it up to my mouth.
Should I get one? I'm toying with it.
It's really great. Like it's gamified going for walks for me. So now
100%. Yeah, I couldn't go back after Apple Watch.
Yeah, and the first time you do that and you speak into the communicator, you'll be like, "This is the future. This is really good."
Do you know what? As well, after getting the Meta Ray-Bans, I'm starting to believe the spiel from them that the phoneless world is the future because it's so nice to be able to just leave your phone in your pocket.
Yeah.
You know, not checking for notifications. There's no temptation to go and scroll on anything.
This reminds me, when you're talking into your watch, that my dad had an amazing story. It's one of my dad's favourite anecdotes from the 90s. This is early 90s, right? And for a while he was one of the execs for Monklands Hospital in Coatbridge for us.
Shout out.
He was the head of social work, but for a while.
So your favourite hospital, yeah?
Of all the hospitals, it's one of the finest. Well,
up the RAH.
I was going to say it's one of the finest, but then it's certainly not. But so for a while he was management there, and one morning he was rushing out and he couldn't find his watch, so he took my brother's Dick Tracy watch, and the alarm on the watch had a wee thing that goes, calling Dick Tracy, and he didn't know that the alarm was on it, and they were sitting having a really important meeting, and the watch, it looked like a wee speaker, for the speaker to go out, and he was sitting in the important meeting, and suddenly halfway through the meeting the watch just goes, calling Dick Tracy, and I was looking around and he was like, how do I get out of this? So he put the watch up to his mouth and went, I'll be there in a minute. Like that. And when he left, apparently all the staff went fucking mental, because they're like, how come he got this fucking fancy watch that can talk to people and we haven't?
We've not got money for bed sheets here. The thing for me with having this podcast is not sponsored by Apple, but we're very open to it. With the AirPods in and having the watch, like, no having to touch anything on my phone for like music and all that is great. The thing that I want is eye-based control and like fingertip control for everything. Like, when I'm looking at screens now, I feel like the next step is it should be able to eye track and see that I'm looking at something and focus on that.
It's like after getting the Meta Ray-Bans for my vacation this summer, I'm genuinely looking forward to getting the display ones, which I think are already out in the US.
Yeah,
they're not out here for a little while because they come with a little wristband and you can do all that. You can just like, but I don't know, maybe that kind of like that goes against what I was just saying, but the appeal of being able to leave your phone.
That's what worries me about it.
Strapped to your face.
Yeah, that's the only concern I have with it. I think the watch is a good kind of halfway point, because I can see it being useful for when you're walking about and with Google Maps. It apparently displays like arrows in front of your face to tell you where to go next. But if that was on my watch, I'd be happy enough with just that.
Warning, train approaching.
Yeah, it does that on the watch. It just gives you a little, because it's got haptics. It feels like someone's tapping you on the wrist. Like,
that's subtle enough. Just kind of looking down instead of actually.
This is 10-year conversation, by the way. I'm pretty sure I had my first Apple Watch 10 years ago.
I thought you meant it feels like it's been 10 years since we started.
That's every time we talk.
It's been 10 years.
Now that I've got it, it's the newest, greatest. And if you set an alarm on it to wake up in the morning, it feels like you're having a massive stroke, because it tightens around your wrist, and it goes absolutely crazy.
You're sleeping in your watch, you maniac.
I need to track my sleep rhythms.
When do you charge it?
I need to charge it.
In the morning. Mine has like a 24-hour battery life, so I just charge it in the morning for 10 minutes, and then that's it. Then it's ready to go. I'm tied to this desk. I've got plenty of time to set it on. It's a little annoying perch thing. Anyway, my biggest beef for this weekend, right, I'll see you later, folks. Patreon.com/VideoGamesChronicle. Last night, I was heading to my weekly football match. Scored a hat trick, by the way. And as I was driving down the Bredland Road, some absolute headbanger pulled out in front of me, seemed to look at me, could see I was coming, continued to pull out in front of me, smash on the brakes, and I'm like, this car isn't slowing down fast enough. Like, my car is not slowing down fast enough. Hit the horn, and it's bad because there's like 2 buses near us as well. There's people getting on the bus. It's about 5:30, 6 o'clock. Very busy time of day. Miss it by about an inch. I could not be closer to the car without it smashing into me. Well, I would have smashed into it in this case, but I was on a straight road and this guy comes flying out. I'm like, okay, I'm peak fuming here. We pull over. I get out the car. Presumably the guy sees me and sees what I look like, peels away. Could not have got away further because clearly he expected me to go over and boot the door off his car. So obviously I get back in my car, begin the pursuit. At this point, I'm like, right, I'm getting so angry and getting so like, I'm getting so hyped
agitated.
up. I'm like, if he pulls over, I'm pulling over, and it's Grand Theft Auto. I'm opening the door of his car and I'm pulling him out, and and then as I'm driving, I see that he's got like I can see through his window that he's got one of those wee Just Eat phones. Like he's clearly following some direction. I'm like, right. This guy's he's probably, and I'm cooling myself down. Then, as we're about to part ways, he just, no indication, his car apparently does the come with indicators, flies off over to the right to park, and I'm like, he's going to kill somebody tonight. I got away with one because this absolute fucking headbanger is just making it up as he goes along.
Just imagine as you drive past, he rolls the window down and just throws a burger at you.
Delivery. Oh mate, I was so angry, and I was like, okay, nothing happened, the car is fine. But then this morning I woke up with horrific whiplash, and I was like, oh, brilliant. The last laugh is on me, apparently. This Johnny, I'm going to read out his Regiplex. I took a photo of it, so if anyone's in the Paisley area, no dox him, stay away from him, because it's like if you see the car, you're about to get hit by it. It was a real annoying. Either of you been in any smashes? Because I've only ever been in one, and it wasn't really a smash. It was a wee front to back kind of thing.
I think it's just I've been in a couple of little ones, but it's usually like reversing and stuff when I'm not the driver.
Yeah.
I had one maybe like 1 or 2 years ago that annoyed me. A guy just didn't even look, like coming out of a junction. Just came out, just went into the side of me.
Yeah.
Didn't even look.
I had that one at Celtic Park a couple of years ago when I was pulling out, and the guy tried to pull out at the same time and went into the side of me, which was quite annoying. Tell you what makes me, in terms of the things that make you unreasonably angry, this makes me, I'm seething any time this happens for ages.
Jordan Midler.
Exactly, this podcast. See when you're driving and someone pulls out really quickly from a junction and then waves at you as if you let them out. And you want to be able to drive up to say, mate, just for the avoidance of doubt, I don't want you to come out there, so don't fucking thank me for you being an absolute prick. But we're going to road rage later.
As I was driving behind this person, I was like, how can I convey how angry I am to them? I was just staring a hole into the back of their car, and I was like, I need some kind of LED display that I can type a message.
I've always wanted that.
Across.
I've always wanted like an LED that you put in the back of your car with like 6 preset messages, like "get off my arse" or something like that. We'll see.
I didn't realise you were such angry drivers.
I'm livid when I'm driving. Like I'm always angry, especially in the motorway. So many
driving
people on the motorway.
The motorway's a mixed bag, because generally I'm alright at just getting out people's way and flying up it, but see, driving in town and stuff like that, people just don't care. It's like every man for themselves. If anything happens, who cares? If there's an insurance payout, I'm not going to pay it anyway, so fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Oh, well.
Man. Anyway, thank you. If you'd like to pay my insurance, if you'd like to pay for my whiplash surgery, you can do so at patreon.com/videogameschronicle. More podcasts, more videos, and ad-free browsing, just like our Patron of the Week. All of the new patrons that signed up for our new Patreon exclusive podcast, VG Q&A, which started with myself and Scullion on Tuesday. Interesting chat over there about the official Nintendo magazine and some hidden gems that we're playing. It's a slightly different tone of podcast. It's very focused. It's a little 25-minute burst. It's not 12 minutes on the people that drive around Paisley. That's your Friday show will remain as unfocused as it always has been. So thank you very much. Very exciting things coming to the Patreon next week, but you can find out about that next week. Story number 1. It didn't work. Destiny 2 director says the Edge of Fate didn't appeal to players who stayed after the final shape. Last year, Bungie released the final shape, the long-awaited expansion that ended the story of Light and Darkness Saga, which has been running for 10 years since the release of the first Destiny. Andy, can you confirm when you were playing the first Destiny that this was part of the Light and Darkness Saga?
It was about 10 years ago. Did I tell you the story where I went to the launch party? And Destiny was like so hyped at the time. It was like the biggest game, right? Of that gen, the start of PS4 gen. Everyone was so excited.
The new Halo.
I went to the launch party and like got a goodie bag. And I was drunk and I was on the tube. And I sent Timur Hussein, who was on our team at the time, I sent him a picture of my goodie bag. Like, and I was so happy with myself, doing a humble brag. Like, look, I've got Destiny. And as I sent it, I looked up and watched it depart on the tube train I'd left it on.
Oh man,
that's grim. That's grim.
Following the expansion, not Andy leaving something on the train, Bungie announced the start of an entirely new long-term story called the Fate Saga, which started in July 2025 with the release of the Edge of Fate. The second expansion, Renegades, set to launch on December 2nd, has been inspired by Star Wars. Pause right there. I implore anyone who's watching or listening to this podcast, go and watch the trailer for Renegades, because I did when I was researching this story, and for the entire trailer up until the end, I was like, how are they getting away with this? Because there isn't Star Wars music, there's very little indication that is this licensed, is this not, and at the very end, there's a tiny little Lucasfilm logo and a Star Wars trademark. And it's like, well, yeah, because there's like lightsabers-ish and there's 80s-ish. Like, it's so weird of a collaboration.
But they can't like completely change the canon and go, yes, Stormtroopers and the Rebel Alliance exist.
It's as close as you can get to it.
But they don't, in Destiny don't, to my knowledge, they don't do the Fortnite thing and haven't done that, right? They haven't got other IPs
Red Bull Sparrow.
in.
It seems like, I think the only way to describe it is an official rip-off. Because basically they've said, because they've added heat guns, which are blasters, but in Destiny they're called heat guns. They're not called blasters. And like you say, these lightsabers and stuff. So, and they've heavily been saying in the PlayStation blog and stuff is inspired by Star Wars, but doesn't have any Star Wars characters or anything in it. So having the Star Wars and Lucasfilm logo then almost appears like they've got Star Wars and says, "Can you let us off with this?
Yeah.
Can you say
I
you've
think
seen
they did a
going?
similar thing with Halo. I think the Halo stuff they put in was like just kind of like a in-universe inspired. Versions of the helmets and stuff.
Yeah. Lightsabers is always, I think, because it is like arguably the most iconic weapon in like sci-fi canon, as soon as you put a lightsaber in something, you might as well just go and get the approval because people are just going to talk about it that way anyway. According to director Tyson Green, the Fate saga hasn't started as well as it could have, and players aren't happy with what the Edge of Fate offered. Speaking to IGN, he said that the expansion didn't deliver on player expectations at a crucial time when numerous players moved on to different games after the final shape brought a natural end to a 10-year storyline. Everyone's been waiting a decade for it. Quote, the final shape brought things to a crescendo, but it's like a fantastic ending that tied off a lot of threads. People were pleased and satisfied with what they played, and then the big downward spike in population came after. That happened because we ended the saga. So you get what you pay for, right? That wasn't the plan for the business perspective. We still want to keep making Destiny. We still have many stories to tell in this universe. There are still lots of things to do, and we have to keep building the game. Unfortunately, it was not gracefully managed, but we had to try something. Andy, future of Bungie and Destiny, especially now under PlayStation, do you see a world where they have to kind of just wipe the slate clean and try something new? Because even though as someone who plays Destiny, I play Destiny 2 maybe once a year for about a week. It is impregnable to get back into
it's ridiculous. The Nathan Brown, formerly of Edge fame, Hit Points newsletter, he wrote a good piece about this a couple of years ago about how so many developers are obsessed with onboarding, like getting players into their game, but none of them pay attention to reboarding. So I've tried to go back to Destiny as well, and I put a stupid amount of hours into the original one, and it's impregnable. Like, it's just, it's imagine you've left your Windows PC running for like 5 years, right? And you open it up and you're getting every notification you've missed. You've unlocked this. The Hive are invading Jupiter. Quick, go and rescue Captain Colonel. Like, what? Your gun's ready at the gunsmith. What's going on?
Here's your Christmas 2022 rewards.
And then you're doing like a tutorial for expansion from like 3 expansions ago that's been archived. It's impregnable. It's I mean, according to the chatter at the moment, is they might be looking at doing a Destiny 3. It's easy for me to say, but for me, Destiny, just from a hardcore player perspective, because I used to play the original a lot, I just got made redundant when that came out. I had kids, I had a lot of time to sit and play. We had a dad's raid group where everyone had young kids, and if any of the kids woke up, we'd just go AFK and wait for them to come back. And so I began Destiny 2. Everyone I played with stopped playing. I've said this before, it was like, it seems like a mistake. It seemed like a mistake. They were Activision led at the time. They clearly knew how to publish something, put a big 2 on it, make sure it's very, very, clear. This is a sequel. You need to get away. It was probably like technology, tech debt reasons that they moved to that, because everyone forgets the original was on like 360 and PS3. It's clearly very, very limited, that original game, by that, like into size of the environments, number of enemies on screen and stuff like that. They probably were very good reasons to move, but just from a player's perspective, it's like they invented heroin too. It's like, hey, this drug you're really addicted to? well, we're going to wipe the addiction clean and invent this. This is an even better version. Do you want it? No, not really.
Give you an offer.
Not now that you've taken all of my guns and shoes away. Now I'll go out. They didn't carry any of the loot across, so you had no investment. The other thing that I don't think helps is that by this point, especially now, there are lots of Destiny-style games. 10 years ago, everyone was clambering to make their Destiny, like the sort of hybrid single-player live service game, You can play it and you only play it with friends. It's a bit of both, isn't it? And now there's lots of Destiny-type games, lots of really good ones vying for your attention. It's not the same, kind of games industry that it was when this game came out and was doing well. So you've got to consider that. But also, very clearly, the Sony move has not been great for them.
I would love to see, and this isn't where Sony is at the minute, but it's something they're totally missing from their catalogue. I would love to see them let Bungie make a big single-player shooter, because they just don't have one anymore. Like, they don't have their Killzone, they don't have their Resistance. Like, they wouldn't do this, but the idea of having Bungie there and not just be like, okay, we'll give you the money and the time to do something that is slightly different for our portfolio could be cool, especially because, as you say, Destiny was one of their original big cross-platform plays, because obviously if they were to make a Destiny 3, it would be on everything, and that was kind of when the Bungie acquisition happened, pretty unheard of, especially from PlayStation's side. But yeah, it's sad. I feel this way about so many. It's even kind of went into single player games now. I downloaded Assassin's Creed Shadows again the other night because they added a really random Attack on Titan collaboration. When I loaded it up, like, I had like 50 new skill points, and like all this stuff had been added to it that is like basically made me rebuild my whole character, and all my gear had like changed levels. And I was like, I feel like there should be some sort of law where a video of a developer has to pop up and in 60 seconds explain to me exactly what has changed since the last time I played this game. Like, it is so difficult to it's the thing that stops me going back from playing old games now, because there's no muscle memory whatsoever. It was especially confusing playing Assassin's Creed Shadows immediately after playing Ghost of Yotei, because I was like, these two games could not be closer. But yeah, it's
the same thing with the next game we're going to talk about as well.
It feels like the final shape was the biggest mistake they made, because like you say, when you talk about Destiny 1 to 2 being an off-ramp, like, this is the ultimate off-ramp, that people who I've done this loads of times with live service games, where you set your own mental kind of ending where you go, right, that's the point where I can go cold turkey now. Like with the new EAFC, when I started it, I was all in on it, and they've got these season-based rewards now. But then I quickly realised this year that it's not working with my current lifestyle. So I said, I'll play at the end of season 1, and if I'm still not feeling it, I'll maybe jump off season 2 and maybe come back for 3 or 4. As soon as season 1 ended, I was gone, and I've gone cold turkey since then. People have been playing Destiny since the first game and were invested in the story, and I bet a lot of them had this mental milestone of, once the story ends, I'm done. And that's what the final shape ended it. And as the director, as Tyson Green says, there was a massive spike in people dropping off after the final shape came out. They said, that's the end of the story. Okay, time to start a new story. And everyone's like, I'm going to go and look at Helldivers or Arc Raiders or any of the 12 million other alternatives, because I've put 10 years into this now.
The hot shit.
I've put 10 years into this now, and now all my pals are playing other different stuff. I'm going to go and see what they're doing, because
here's what I'm amazed they've not done yet. And you can bet your house they're going to do it, is do Destiny Classic.
Yeah.
I'm going to play that. You're going to play that.
If they were still with Activision, they would have already. But I think so. Destiny.
Because these games, these are like, they might as well be real places and times and memories, right?
Yeah.
The tower, where you spend so much time, like, people make TikTok videos now with like sounds of children playing on the background, like the nostalgia. But it is, isn't it? It's a time and a place. And I'd like to revisit that someday, 100%.
That's something that live service games can do amazingly. Like, I feel that way about the original Verdansk map. Like, there were so many conversations that I've had with my best mates where, like, the game's largely irrelevant, but I remember this specific house that we would always go into because it was like a little bit broken and you could get really good vantage points. And if anyone came in, 4 of you could shoot. But it was about the conversations you had in the 10 minutes while you were hiding. But I think that stuff is very kind of temporary. You can't go home again, etc.
But they're in a situation now where it's like, what do they do? Like until a Destiny 3 comes out, it's got to be diminishing returns at this point because, like you say, anyone who tries to get back in it is impenetrable to try and get back in. So the numbers are just going to go lower and lower and lower and lower and lower, and they're never going to get higher because anyone who, like, if I wanted to start, I've never played Destiny 2. I'm not going to start now because when I load it up, I'm going to be completely lost because they've expected 6 years of gameplay up to that point. I can't get into it now. So the numbers are just going to keep going down until a 3 comes out and the decks are wiped again.
Can you imagine if you just became a big Destiny guy? That'd be very strange. Story number 2.
Destiny's Child.
5. Oh, very good. I'm obviously Beyonce. You're
I got a soft spot for Kelly Rowland because she was in Freddy vs. Jason, so she embraced it all.
Guess I'm the other one then.
Michelle.
Michelle.
Can you handle this? I don't think you can handle this. 5 years on, Cyberpunk has crossed 35 million sold. The milestone was hit during the last quarter, as announced during CDPR's latest financial results, given the game was released in December 2020, which is just about 5 years ago. The Witcher 3 sold 30 million in 6 years, making Cyberpunk a faster seller. I thought this was a good time to reflect on Cyberpunk, that whole saga, and now flashing back to it. So when Cyberpunk was coming in for review, I was at the British Broadcasting Corporation at the time. You may have heard of it, the Doctor Who people, and I was
Jimmy Savile people.
Well, the call the midwife people. I don't even know if that's
you're trying to get someone less controversial.
The Prince Andrew people. The game was coming in for review. I was like, oh, a big RPG, and I'll probably get it like 2 weeks beforehand, chatting away to them. Get it a week beforehand, chatting away to them. It then broke cover that a very small number of PC copies had permeated out into the wild while I'm sitting there CCing in my boss and my boss's boss being like, we are going to cover this game on the television. Like, can we get it? Day before, get a code. Day before the game comes out, I got a code for the PS4 version. Download it. And oh my God, I could not.
Should have asked me, mate. I did for about 2 weeks by that point.
Yeah, because you were part of that PC liberal elite that got it early. That was crazy. Andy, obviously you were playing it on PC, so it was a totally different that factor of it.
I mean, I've still got my notes somewhere.
Yeah.
It'd probably be fun to pick up my review notes because as I'm reviewing something, I don't know if you guys do this. I will take a lot of notes.
Yeah.
And then kind of pound them into a Word doc and try and form it into some kind of consensus.
Yeah.
I remember when I was reading Cyberpunk. I absolutely love Cyberpunk, by the way. It's still one of my favorite modern games. And yeah, there was there's quite a lot of bugs in this, you know. But I never had anything stupid, like nothing ridiculous that you see online. And you know this, Chris, right? Is that this is the reviewers, kind of a curse that there's two sides to this. First of all, when you're always a lot of the time you're reviewing unfinished code, especially if it's coming in really hot. Like a lot of games come in hot, and you can tell. There'll be games that you review. I'm trying to think of a recent one that you'd probably be able to say. Death Stranding 2, right? Death Stranding 2 had 0 bugs. You know, even when I played it, I played 40 hours or 30, 40 hours of Death Stranding 2 at preview in April, right? It had 0 bugs in that time, right? And then you have other games that are coming in quick, right? Like you like I'm thinking like Avatar, Far Cry, maybe Alan Wake 2.
Especially when you're
quite
told,
upfront with you with that.
When you're told there's a day one patch coming as well, and you're like,
they're quite upfront with that, right? Especially now that I've worked on games and I see it, right? Like when we were working on Yooka-Laylee, that game was done at Christmas and it came out in a March. So day one patches are a thing, right? If you're I think Nintendo require, if you're on Nintendo physical, which these days with the game key cards is less of an issue, I suppose, but they require an like maybe 2 months, I think it was 2 months head start. And the others like 1 month. So day one patches are like really important thing for you to be able to keep on working on the game. So the point I'm making is that there's loads of games you're playing and you see a bug and it's always a deliberation, a decision about, do you criticize these bugs when you're playing a pre-release version? I mean, usually we note them in the review, right? We say, look, there's a lot of issues, but they say there's a day one patch.
Yeah.
So you can never be 100% sure. This is the curse of reviewing games before they're out, right? And the other side of that is, I've lost my train of thought. I've actually gone off on one, haven't I? The other side of writing these bugs is like, when it actually goes out into the public domain, Assassin's Creed Unity is the one that comes to mind, right? And they become memes.
Mm-hmm.
You got to keep them like you go. We are legitimately playing these games with no preconceptions before a lot of time, right?
Yeah.
We haven't. There's not people online telling us that this game, the agenda of this game is that it's a disaster, and I don't think you could. For example, I don't think you could. You literally could not review Cyberpunk after it had been released in a unbiased, like a completely neutral fashion, because you're going in knowing that is the narrative, basically. That's the popular decision. So a lot of those bugs with like people flying in the sky and stuff like that, that's come from millions of people playing the game and then sharing it. If you're on your own, you might not see anything. I saw like a handful of like little glitches, but you could overlook them. I mean, I was noting, like, and I'd speak to like some other reviewers, like, some bugs, not so much. And also the way I play the game is, I don't know if you guys do this. People who play like open world games and they're just like, I'm gonna break it. Like they play like Assassin's Creed, or they play GTA, or they play Cyberpunk. The first thing they're gonna do is that I'm gonna murder all the civilians, and then I'm going to fight the police, and I'm going to hold up, and I'm going to break the game. I don't play the game like that.
No,
like I played
we
it
don't
almost
have time.
like
We don't have time.
I almost put, but I just not how I play these games.
Yeah.
It doesn't interest me. Cyberpunk almost played it like a linear single player game, right? Like the open world was almost like dressing.
It was at its best when you played it like that, especially.
So I play games naturally in that way. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that I loved Cyberpunk. And the day, so I got the console code the day you got it.
Yeah.
The day before the console code came, so no one had even seen this game running on console at this point. Which, by the way, I always use as an example of why having shows like E3 gone is bad. Things that the pandemic did, the pandemic coming in and E3 dying, disappearing, enabled them to not have to show us this console version, and they were able to to hide that until release, and everyone obviously got a very bad surprise on the day. But that game should have never have come out on those consoles, right?
It was such a crazy little period, because not only was it just in the aftermath of the PS5 launch, but then everything was kicking off, like all the refunds happened, Sony pulling it from the PlayStation Store, like that is unprecedented. Like that was just absolutely crazy. The fact that it's even got to the stage where it's not even, people talk about the Cyberpunk comeback and they're like, oh yeah, they fixed it, but it would have been easy for them to just fix it. They've done like so much since then that it's been part
it's
of
really it's admirable, isn't it? Like what they've done since. They've really, I mean, of course, we've seen with the bloody sales numbers, they've really recovered on top of that, the reputation of the game in the studio. No one really talks about that so much in a negative light anymore. No one's going, oh, I'm going to wait for Witcher 4 to come out first before I see, they've addressed everything they possibly could. I remember I was in the Game Awards speaking to the Pavel, who's directing Cyberpunk 2. Actually, he did Phantom Liberty, and that winning best ongoing game, it meant so much to them. It felt like a redemption story. I mean, just on top of all of the stuff they've added as well, of course, they've moved entirely to Unreal Engine now. They have a partnership with Unreal where they help, kind of develop the engine in parity with them creating these big open world games. So they're not even, they've protected themselves as much as possible from this happening again, from what you can see. They're not even using their own engine anymore. But yeah, what a time to be alive, right?
It's nice to see
pandemic and Cyberpunk.
Yeah, it's nice to see like turnarounds like that in No Man's Sky and stuff like that, because you look at something like a Mind's Eye and you're like, I could never see that happening with that. Like,
you don't like that? Please, come on,
boys, you can do it. Like, it's just like that. There's so many situations where something has this awful launch and doesn't. Like even that GTA trilogy that was released, apparently to some extent has turned it around.
Shout out Grove Street Games.
Exactly. So that's good. But going back to Andy's point about when we're reviewing them, the one that always sticks in my mind is Red Steel on the Wii. This wasn't just like pre-release. This was pre-console release. So we're playing on Wii dev kits.
Were you in the Wii Flat?
No, I was at Ubisoft's London headquarters, and I played through it in its entirety on a black debug Wii U.
Nice.
Before the black, not Wii U, Wii, before the black Wii came out years later. It was just good. So we're like, oh, cool, this one's black. This is crazy. Played through it start to finish, had no issues whatsoever. Really liked it, 91%. I thought it was a great game. Game comes out, and suddenly everyone's like, "You're an idiot. Why did you not mention all the bugs? Why did you not mention this game is broken?" I'm like, because my DeLorean was at Quick Fit. Like when you're reviewing a game, you're a sample size of 1. You're basically a QA sample size of 1. When that game comes out and the sample size is 2 million or however many copies it sold, and everyone's playing that level's being played 2 million times, so 2 million variations of things are happening and bugs are appearing, and one bug, like Andy says, gets shared across the entirety of Twitter, and that picture, the Assassin's Creed picture of the guy's face like that becomes becomes the screenshot for that game.
That was the game where it felt like it changed for me.
Yeah.
Because really, especially like when we worked at a magazine company and their lead times are big, right? Like if you're going to have a review out in November, you've got to be playing that in September?
Yeah.
So we played like really broken versions of games, and you understood that it would be fixed, and it was an accepted understanding between you and the developer.
Yeah.
That was the one that I remember where it was like, oh, they didn't fix it. Where I think it was either Assassin's Creed 3 or Unity. It was one of them, and it was so broken, like people, like corpses floating in the air. But I think even 3 at launch, it might have been free. But it was in the days when we were playing on physical disc code, you know, because as soon as PS4 came out, that went away. Everyone sent out, stuff digitally. But I just remember specifically how broken that was and how surprised I was when it came out. It's like, oh, because it was the first time that understanding was circumvented, that, we understand that you'll fix these bugs. And it's, oh, you didn't. Yeah. So that means now we have to bring that into question every time we see anything. The
best case situation these days is obviously, like we say, day one patches are just part of the gig now. And so you'll often come across bugs and go, is this going to be fixed or not? So you're wary of covering them. But the best publishers now are the ones who will tell you there's a day one patch coming, but they will also provide notes saying these are the known issues that are in the build you have just now. These are specifically the issues that we are working on to fix for day one. So if you encounter that, not to make a big deal of it in the review because they're on it. That's one of the things that won't be there for when the player actually gets their hands on it. There's no point in you moaning about it because they'll almost likely not have the same problem. But
I think it's no shock that the first Assassin's Creed game, the second one, because Black Flag was PS4 as well, but one of the first Assassin's Creed games that was released in the era of everyone being able to capture their gameplay directly from their console and immediately upload it to social media. It became this lightning rod for glitches. Like if the capture button existed on the PS2 and the PS3, the narrative around certain games would be entirely different, because now it is trivial it's like you saw it when the second Horizon game came out. I saw 0 bugs, but then that whole week people were like, "Oh, this game might be a bit fucked." And I'm like, you feel like you played an entirely different game. Like but as you say, it's millions of people who can immediately find one clip and maybe is someone reposting the same clip, and it builds and builds and builds. Like
we all know.
I think that's one of the legitimate ways where people really should listen to critics, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know like reviews are opinion pieces, and in my opinion, you find someone who you tend to line up with, and then you kind of stick with them, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't think general players are, the people shouting online are getting the same impartial experience, like the normal player experience that a reviewer who is playing in isolation without other people. Oh my God, did you play that bit? That was stupid. Oh, look at this. You're completely alone.
Yeah.
It's like even now, like I'm reviewing a game, right? and you haven't got a clue whether you align with what everyone else is going to say.
Yeah.
You know, not a clue.
You wonder how many people didn't buy Pokemon Legends because of that one screenshot that did the rounds of the person looking in the kind of empty field.
Yeah.
And everyone going, look, this is exactly how bad this game looks. It's like, no, you've picked the worst part of granted a not amazing looking game, but you've picked the very, very worst bit of it, and that really isn't indicative of the entire thing.
If you wanted to zoom in on some certain textures in games like Expedition 33, you could make that look like it's like total jank as well. Like it's there's narratives can be very easily formed around games, as we're all aware. When we come back, some light-hearted topics such as artificial intelligence, Kirby in a bikini, and Raccoin, the 2026 Game of the Year. We'll see you in a minute. And we are back. Happy Thanksgiving to our American listeners from us limey Brits. Weird that they persist in doing this practice Christmas dinner about 5 minutes before the real thing, but let me tell you, some of the photos of the food that was coming out last night.
Do you know what? I don't know about you, but at the end of November, the last thing I need is like a prequel Christmas dinner.
Full scran, a rehearsal.
That's why everyone should switch to Canadian Thanksgiving, which is on the 12th of October this year. A bit earlier. I don't know why Canada and America have different Thanksgiving. I mean, but different histories in it.
Well, it's St. Andrews.
Probably because one of them's a bit French.
Thanksgiving. The one thing that
exactly how you say it.
Yeah, very good.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Hello, would you like to eat a turkey? The children, they need wine. The Americans do meat correctly. I've always stood by this. Like, you look at some of these Kansas barbecues and you're like, oh my God, this looks unbelievable. The desserts, absolutely terrible. It'd be like, come with me to try the brand new cranberry turkey burger muffin pie. And it's like, we're putting marshmallows on top of mac and cheese with a bit of meat on the top, with like whipped cream and canned cheese. And they're like, well, this is how mom used to make it. It's like, you need to grow up. You need to grow up as a nation. You need to grow up with your food palette. Stick to the meats. We were recently discussing VGC's plans for our Christmas sojourn, and we're going somewhere that's got a hell of a lot of meat. I'm telling you right now, if we eat a hell of a lot of meat at that dinner, we'll be going to our next location, falling asleep in the booth, talking to each other and going, oh, sorry.
Maybe we should just not have dinner.
Yeah, straight on the piss. Go straight from the podcast studio on to get Chris Scullion on the piss.
From the pod to the pint.
Yeah, from the pod to the pint. The VGC.
My opinion of parties is that you should have your meal like at 1 a.m.
Yeah, mate. Oh, this is perfect. This is the perfect opportunity. Right after we're done drinking, we're going to Chillo's that I spoke about the last time I was in Edinburgh. The most unbelievable West of Scotland takeaway. You get big burgers, you get amazing chips, and you get so much food for not that much money, and you get nice juices and stuff like that. Chillo's is the absolute one. We need to go there. I'm worried about how busy it will be at that time of year, but we can just elbow people.
Worried about how full we're still going to be. Like,
give me 10 racks of ribs, give me 10 burgers, 10 fries, and then it's all right. We'll dance it off.
If you stay away from the carbs. Yeah. Stick to the wings.
Yeah.
The next day we'll get Andy a pizza crunch before he goes back.
Yeah. Oh, don't say wings. God rest it. I still cannot believe that. People of Edinburgh, the disrespect that you've shown to not keep wings alive for me and Scullion. I really hope you take a long hard look at yourself.
Andy, are you familiar with the pizza crunch?
I literally don't know what you're talking about. You could make something up.
No, it's an Edinburgh fish and chip shop.
You put a Cadbury's Crunchy on a pizza.
No, it is literally a deep fried pizza.
Yeah.
Hence the crunch.
We'll get you a wee pizza crunch for your lunch the day after. That's a great idea.
Just like a calzone.
Oh no. Imagine the kind of pizza that you would buy for 50 pence off the Boss Man. It's like a sliver of dough, tiny bit of cheese, tiny bit of red sauce, cover that in batter.
That sounds
straight in the fryer.
amazing.
It is
So it really is crunch.
unbelievable.
It's the future. Pizza crunch is
Right,
the
we're
future.
going. We're just going to eat.
The reason that there was such an obesity epidemic in my high school is because you could walk to Marco's, the chippy, and get a pizza crunch and a can of juice for 50 pence. 50 pence for a pizza crunch and a can of juice. Unbelievable scenes. Inflation, Starmer's Britain, it's probably
See,
about £40
chicken
now.
shops. Are chicken shops a thing outside of London?
No, they're not chicken. It's not chicken shops. It's a lot
No, but
of...
our chicken shop, though, is the question.
They're very rare. There's
Our
like
chicken
two.
shops
There's 2 in Edinburgh.
See, so I don't get that. Yeah, so we used to get like chicken and chips and a drink for £2.
Yeah.
I miss my South Wimbledon TFC, Tennessee
Couldn't
Fried
get a
Chicken.
punch in the face from the chicken shop for £2 now.
Well, from that nice conversation to this absolute muck, Epic's Tim Sweeney says it makes no sense for game stores to flag when AI has been used in development. Earlier this month on X, a lot of good stuff on X, Matt Workman posted, quote, Steam and all digital marketplaces need to drop the made with AI label. It doesn't matter anymore. Sweeney found the post on Wednesday and replied to it, saying he agreed with Workman because in his opinion, AI will be used in so many games in the future that its presence will almost go without saying. Agreed, he wrote. The AI tag is relevant to art exhibits with authorship disclosure and to digital content licensing marketplaces where buyers need to understand the right situation. Makes no sense for game stores where AI will be involved in nearly all future productions.
Tim Sweeney is a genius programmer who happens to own his company. So after Fortnite exploded, he's become a very rich and powerful man who people listen to. But video games are not just technology, right? They're a convergence of technology and art. And that's why they're so interesting. They're a bit of both. He's coming at this from a business technology point of view. That if you were selling a graphics card, why would you have to say that AI was using this? But games are art, Tim, right? Yeah. If you're buying a bottle of shampoo, it'd say whether it's ethically sourced, right?
Yeah.
People want to know whether he's made the comparison there, an art gallery. Yeah, I want to know if someone used art like AI to make this painting.
Yeah.
It also feels like a clear, like a business call as well, because when you consider that the biggest rival, Steam, now requires developers to disclose whether AI has been used in their games, and the Epic Game Store doesn't require that disclosure, he's obviously going to say yeah, we don't need this. So anyone who's making your Gen AI games, come over here and you can sell them on our store.
Stick your total pish on our store. It'll end up looking like the PlayStation. Sidebar, have any of you went on the PlayStation Store recently? Because it is utter garbage. I don't know if there's anyone working there in submissions that needs to be like, okay, this can be on the PlayStation Store, but perhaps let's not push it on the store. Here's Italian Brain Rot Simulator 10, and it's all Gen AI pish, and you look at the game and it's like, true. I preferred 9. And you look at the screenshot and it's like a match 3 puzzle. Like the curation of digital storefronts is in the absolute toilet bowl. PlayStation and Nintendo are really bad for it. If anyone owned an Xbox to check, I'm sure that store's bad as well. But
I'm going to put this in the Discord. John Linneman of Digital Foundry sent me this Switch game yesterday called Bullet Strike.
Nice.
Which looks like the most There was another one, actually. There was one that was even worse. Where is it?
There's that Last of Us one.
World War Battle Heroes Field Armies Call of Prison Duty Simulator.
Yes, come on.
Holy shit, that's a real game.
Yeah,
I'm going to put these in the Patreon. It's like, well, I'm not going to be mean.
See,
I'm putting them in the
fucking, they're the most
fuck who?
Pay us money, Patreon.
No. Sorry. I'm getting wrong. I thought you meant you weren't going to be mean to the people who are making these games. I'm like, fuck them.
No.
No, this people are lovely. No, it's a heel turn.
This was all pivoting to
World War Battle Heroes Field Armies Call in Prison.
I'm gonna put it on the Discord in the general chat so everyone can see.
Chris, you had the great misfortune of being in VGC's op territory, our rival ends, France, to see you explain it, because I still don't have the full end of the stick here.
Right, so Ubisoft were like,
Cheese, bread.
I got a wee email a couple of weeks ago from Ubisoft saying, "Bonjour, Chris." And I said, "All right." They said, "We're doing an AI." Like last year they showed an AI NPC thing, and basically it was at GDC or something. They were showing an AI experiment, and what it was basically an NPC just standing in front of you, and you used a microphone to speak to them, and the game gave you objectives like. Try and find out this about them, try and find out that, and basically like it was just a chat bot basically. So they've now attempted to bring this into a game environment to say, here's how it works in a game. Do you want to come and see it? Now we've spoken about AI a lot on here, and I think it's important for us to know what we're talking about. Like regardless of what you think about it, I need to go and check it out to see if it was. So I went to try it out. It does some really interesting things. All the problems with AI are still inherent. So it's pulling from Google Gemini. So it's still everything that's wrong with using Google AI is still there. That's a separate thing that needs to be dealt with. But in terms of this actual demo, it was called Teammates. So it's not an actual game yet. They're basically trying to make a middleware which other devs can then use and take parts from for their own games.
You weren't talking to Ezio?
100%. Talking to the Pope. Say it in Assassin's Creed. Try to convert him to Buddhism. It's basically it's an FPS, and you've got two partners, and you've got a thing in your head called Jasper. Definitely not Jarvis from Iron Man, but Jasper, something different. And basically, when you're playing a controller, you can hold down the R1 button and talk to Jasper. Or you can hold down the menu button, whatever they call it now, on the Xbox controller and talk to your teammates. So there's two different triggers. And Jasper's guiding you through, giving you advice and stuff, and you can talk to him and say, "Jasper, I know there's enemies ahead of me, but I can't see them. Can you flag them, please?" And he'll highlight them so you can track them. And then you go to your teammates and say, "Right, can't remember their names. You go down to the left and hide behind that grey pillar.
Jordan and Andy, come on.
That's right." And they say, if you go down to the red truck and hide behind that, then they both go and do it. And I was trying to mix up my chat, like they'd say it in different ways, and they were still responding to everything I was saying. I was like, so I was like, this is actually, in that sense, put aside all the ethical issues with it, it's a really cool way of playing like a tactical game. I could see it being used for a Tom Clancy situation. I was talking to the people behind it after it, and they were saying, look, this isn't the future of video games. It's a tool that can be used optionally in games in the future. And some devs might not want all of it. It's good for accessibility because at the start I said to, Jasper. I said, Jasper, I usually invert my right stick on the y-axis.
He said, "You're a dick."
And he's like, "What?" He said, "Get out of this demo." I said, "Jasper, I usually invert the right stick." And he went, "Okay," and inverted right away. And then I was testing other things. I says, "I'm colourblind." Lying to an AI. It says, "Jasper, I'm colourblind." And he goes, "All right, what kind of colourblindness?" And he listed 5 things.
You went,
I've been rumbled. I said the 4th one. And he went, "Right." And he instantly changes to that. And I'm like, "Can you change the subtitle size and make the background transparent?" It does all this kind of stuff. So that's cool. And they were saying, look, a dev might just want to put that bit in their game. For people who just want to talk for accessibility reasons and that, or they might want an entire AI driven, like an RPG, like a proper Dungeons and Dragons style thing where you are talking to the dungeon master and the game changes. So there's different things. The important thing is that they're seeing this as a new genre rather than a replacement. So instead of it being FPS, third person adventure RPG, it will be FPS AI. RPG AI, and like, so to differentiate that not every game is going to be like this going forward. Like I say, there's still lots of things that have to be sorted ethically in terms of power usage and making sure that there are very strict restrictions put in place so they don't go without the boundaries.
How do you stop it declaring love for Hitler within 5 minutes?
I literally mentioned Hitler and they got really nervous. That I wasn't even talking about the game. I was just trying to spread the word. No, I said obviously somebody's going to break this. I said this Hitler is going to be the AI equivalent of drawing a dick on a piece of paper. Or every time you get a game, the first thing you do is make a penis in it. From now on, anytime there's an AI game, the first thing you're going to do is try and make them declare love for the Nazi Party. And they're saying, well, there's 2 ways to do it. The first way is to put in the really strict restrictions on the characters themselves, so that if you say anything that isn't related to the mission, they can say, look, we don't have time to talk about that just now, let's focus on the mission. Because it's saying that they're not making AI chatbots here, they're making stuff that just responded to the game environment. The other thing is to make it just not fun to do, because like when people make a penis in a game, they'll do it once and then actually do what the game does. He says there will obviously be people who try and do the Hitler shit and all that, but if they just say and then just move on, and you actually have it makes it doesn't let you actually progress in the game, and they want to make the rest of it actually more rewarding. They're hoping that people, I don't necessarily buy it, but they're hoping that people will do it once, go ha ha ha, and then actually play the game normally. But I don't know.
Well, that's a potential Patreon series for the future. We are running out of time here, but very briefly, I wanted to talk about two things. Chris Scullion, in 1 minute, how is Air Riders? And in a further minute, why has Kirby got his chebs out? I didn't really follow this here.
Air Riders is good. It's a solid enough racing game. It's got a cool wee single player mode. You can make
Did
your own.
Sakurai have to talk about it for 45 years?
Absolutely not. I've just summed it up in one sentence. The controversy around it just now is that you can make your own, you can customize your own vehicles with stickers that you get. You unlock stickers as you play through the game, and some of these are just basic geometric shapes, and you know what happens when the players are given geometric shapes. So people have, there's a chef character called Chef Kawasaki, and he's got a big dumb face, much like my own. And people, apparently for a while, there was a meme doing the rounds in Japan where he was wearing a tiny wee bikini. I don't know why. So people
love banter.
They love it. It's top bands. So they've taken like a star vehicle, which is like a star-shaped thing. Conveniently looks like a head, arms and feet. They've put a sticker of the chef's face in the top bit of the star, and then put the tiniest bikini on it, like imaginable, and then put it in, and then you can upload these and people can download them. Now, every time you download one, the value of it goes up to make things more valuable. So if 100 people download, if you download this vehicle with a Chef Kawasaki and a bikini in it, if you're the first person to download it, it might cost you 100 coins. The next person, it might cost 200, then 400, and then it gets more and more expensive. So because everyone was buying this bikini thing, it fucking rocketed to the top of it. So every kid who went in to buy it, like to look at the main menu, is just getting Grot at the top, and then like Pikachu and like all these other IPs. So Nintendo's like, oh right, delete. People are, what are you doing deleting these for? So everyone's now making them. So it's just, they keep building up to the top of the charts. Nintendo's deleting them, and someone's just making another one. It's just basically, it's a funny situation basically.
It's a bit like in the WWE games. For a long time, they were horrifically unmoderated. So if you just went to most recently uploaded on their image uploader, you were just the dirtiest filth you've ever seen. The kind of thing they couldn't even show on the 900 channels, were just staring you in the face. But that's funny. Air Riders, interesting me game. I've put that in my list of games to potentially recommend for the deluge of people in my life that are saying, what's this Switch 2? Should I get them a Switch 2 for Christmas? What kind of games am I getting this Pokemon one? Like what's happening here? Bonanza's like the number one I'm telling them to get, because that is a proper kids game. Like I feel like kids would get well into Bonanza. And then I tell them, piss off, buy a PlayStation 5 Pro and Astrobot. That's all you need. Very finally, Andy, do you want to hear about your 2026 game of the year that I've been playing? This is Raccoin. There is a demo for it available on Steam right now. It's published by PlayStack, the Balatro people. So, you know, the 2p machines at Blackpool Pleasure Beach or any arcade you've ever been into, you put the 2p in, it goes ding, 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 ding. You have to time it. It's like Tipping Point, the famous Ben Shepherd vehicle. It's Tipping Point Balatro. So you get special coins and you put it in the thing, and then if you get over a certain combo of coins falling down, you get a big tornado of coins. It's just, it feels amazing to play. The sound of the coins falling is so satisfying. If things are going badly, you can get a power up to shake the machine. It's so addictive. I've put 7 hours into just the demo. So when that game actually comes out,
I'm downloading it right now. What's it on?
It's on Steam. Raccoin. It is.
Is it just a demo?
It's just a demo, but you can play it. You can play like the first 12 stages infinitely. So I've not beat the demo yet, and I've played it for 7 hours. Like
how do I spell that?
Raccoin, I believe. It is brilliant. Genuinely,
like raccoon, but Raccoin.
Anyone who's listening to this, get on Steam, download the demo for Raccoin. It is one of the best things I've played in absolutely ages. It's a total time sink, and I can see it. As soon as I started playing it, I was like, I can see exactly how this is going to ruin my life. Best thing is, because these machines are obviously oriented in such a way, a mobile version of this is going to be amazing. As soon as they stick this on the phones, that's flight sorted for the next year.
I'm downloading it right now.
Since we're planting things, I'd like to recommend Rosalina's storybook, which was just released. It's basically it's out now. Yeah, it's on. I got it from Amazon. It's literally just the storybook from Super Mario Galaxy.
That's cute.
But basically reproduced. The kid loves it, and especially since Rosalina's going to be in the next movie. Like, if your kids aren't fussed about Galaxy because it's like got those kind of motion controls.
I'm more into Galaxy 2.
Oh well, in that case, you can cram it. So this is a good alternative.
Recommend Super Nintendo.
No, I'd like to read it one day if I can get my hands on a bloody copy. Unlike you two jokers. But yeah, that's my recommendation.
It's because me and Andy are Scottish. Because you're a dirty Canadian.
What can I say?
Like Andy McDonald up there. But yes, thank you very much for watching / listening this week. Next week, we are kicking off something huge over on patreon.com/Video Games Chronicle. You won't be able to move for being shouted at about it, but keep your eyes on the skies. And then, yeah, we've got a couple of interesting weeks coming up. Next week, kind of quiet, but then the following week is the Game Awards and a bloody Pokemon expansion. So TBC on how things will be going there. The day after the Game Awards, a very tired Chris Scullion and I will put something together for that podcast. Then the week after that, I believe, we'll have a very special podcast that may or may not have to do with all that meat we were talking about earlier. I'll tell you something, boys. I was in Morrison's last night, went down the health food aisle and saw a version of those little 5-hour energy capsules that looked medical in nature, so maybe get our hands on that. And then we'll see you in the festive period with all.
Raccoin is downloaded.
Well, there you go. Go on, download Raccoin. Use the code VGC for 9% off. But enjoy your weekend. Play lots of games. You two up to anything, Andy? Football this weekend?
Unfortunately, Liverpool.
Oh, that's a free one.
Ends their unbeaten run. West Ham United steps up. Yeah.
Oh. Scullion?
Book. And according to the embargo, I'm allowed to say that I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadows on Switch too, so expect like a video of that next week at some point. It's just gameplay, how it looks. But yeah.
If you happen to be in the Birmingham area on Sunday, I'm hosting something for eBay at MCM Comic Con Birmingham. They're selling a load of Pokemon stuff.
Just on a specific street corner. Just
I'm just gonna have my eBay account going. Anybody want this? No, they're doing like a charity auction that I've been drafted in to help with the Pokemon stuff. So if you're at MCM Birmingham, there's lots of games people going there, like the whole cast of Claire Obscure, apart from Ben, because you couldn't pay Ben to appear at a Comic-Con, obviously.
So he's not everywhere then.
No, it's the entire cast of Claire Obscure, a few gladiators, and most of the living Doctor Who's that are over 50, and Jordan Middler. So that'll be a fun weekend. If you're in the area, come and check that out. But without further ado, patreon.com/Video Games Chronicles. Say goodbye, Andy.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye, Chris Scullion.
Goodbye, Chris Scullion.
Go and play Raccoin. We'll see you next week.